That would explain that.
I believe that it will fit. 2 to 4, it's 1,000-gallon septic tank.
Well,
The chamber system you're talking about now?
I'm talking about the size of the chambers, yeah. Typically, if it was only designed for 2 bedrooms, then it would not be adequate for 3 bedrooms.
Well, you have to have an inspection before we commence, so that can all be taken into account and remedied if necessary.
Who's gonna inspect it?
Professional septic inspector. Mr.
You know-
Stevenson,
You know, if it's property size for a 3-bedroom,
we will find out at that point.
Well, I'm looking at the plan right now. It's designed for 2 bedrooms.
You have the volume of the chambers.
Chambers 320 square. It's 220 square feet. I have to read. I believe it's 320 square feet. That's what it should.
Is the septic, is that a code enforcement issue? I mean, I could.
It's licensed plumbing inspector, which is me, yes.
So we could grant approval for the building contingent upon the inspection of the
Inspection.
septic, and then
Right,
if there's an issue with that, they would have to deal with that separately.
correct.
don't you need an HHG 200 that shows that it's adequate?
That's what we're saying, so they're gonna have a professional come in and do an inspection of it and make sure the size is adequate.
Then do a new HHG.
But I'm looking at the form, which I assume is what's there. Which is designed for 2-bedroom minimum design flow, so it wasn't conservatively designed,
Minimum,
so it says.
doesn't say maximum, so it doesn't say maximum 2 bedrooms, it says minimum 2
It
bedrooms.
said 2-bedroom minimum, so when you calculate the design flow, you can, the site evaluator can actually. Ramp it up and actually. You can design for something bigger than what. Structure is showing.
Yeah.
But in this case, that was not what this shows.
I believe we'll find that it's adequate. The 2 bedrooms minimum. Right, most likely it's 1,000-gallon tank and the galleries.
Yeah, the septic tank is fine.
No, I'm saying, and then likewise, the galleries probably were modeled for more than 2 bedrooms. If they
That's
said
not what this
minimum.
shows, no.
We'll find out when they do the inspection, right?
And I am a site evaluator, so I do know a little bit of this.
So, I mean. Part of the requirement is to show an adequate. Wastewater disposal system, which we don't know yet. So,
Who did your study on that part?
This was pulled from the DEP page for the septic.
so we could continue this. Wait until the septic issue is resolved.
Do we have to make them wait for the planning board to meet in 2 weeks before, can we do it contingent upon the satisfaction?
It doesn't matter, they're not starting in the fall,
Right.
after the summer season, so
Yeah,
one meeting would not be a problem, but it could also be done contingent.
What would you have to do if it needed a larger chamber system?
They would have to. Amend the HHG 200, they would have to actually design for additional chambers. And I'm guessing these are concrete, well, this shows that these are concrete chambers. As long as there's adequate space there. That you can actually fit additional chambers, I think, then. That's what you have to do. You have to have a site evaluator come in and actually. Do that design.
So if somebody has to come in now and inspect what's there, figure out what's there. And decide whether or not it needs to be enlarged, or add more chambers.
Right, well, I mean, again, I'm looking at the plan, of what's there. You know, unless this plan is not accurate, but I've got to assume it is.
Yeah, it was from the latest update in the septic.
Yeah, and this was 1984, so it hasn't been. Nothing's been done since then, as far as what this application shows.
So the two options are to continue this matter until the next meeting and. Or to approve it subject to the condition that they get approval of a septic system, approved septic system. They submit that to you and to the planning board before.
It should be contingent before any
Or
construction.
a building permit.
I mean, you know, the other option is to change the house design to a 2-bedroom. And that's.
2-bedroom and an office.
We know.
Doesn't have a closet.
AJ Septic is the guy that I use, John Cushing's brother, like he's the guy.
Oh, yeah, he came to my house too.
He's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll come up quickly and do it for you.
Yeah.
We're not making recommendations.
No,
No, well,
His name is AJ Septic.
He's in New
He's in New
Sharon.
Sharon. His phone number is 207-778-5444. I'm not making a recommendation, but I've used them. Anytime.
Let's keep it on a straight playing field.
Wasn't there, there's the new septic, there was a change in law that the septic systems in the shoreline zone needed to be inspected. Was that only upon transfer?
Upon transfer, yes.
Okay.
Or change in ownership. There's also King's Arrow Joe Stevenson. 207-215-1775. Again, that's only a suggestion, as is the other one. We have no responsibility for recommendation.
So,
It's a good idea to have your septic inspected anyway as part of this, because if there are issues.
I'd make that
Yeah,
mandatory. You did it
yeah, I did it.
both times.
I had to replace myself.
so what do people want to do? Do we want to continue this or move it based on the condition?
I don't feel there's enough here to approve because adequate wastewater disposal is one of the requirements in the app. In the ordinance, so right now it's not.
Right. John?
You're not trying to start in the next 2 weeks, are you?
No, and he's already mentioned that we need to get it inspected before he can issue a permit anyways.
Yeah,
So it's not, it's been
I
discussed.
think it's better to have everything laid out so that we know what we're doing, rather than having to ratchet back and remove something that's already been done. So I would agree with Don.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
Besides septic, are there any other major issues that should be covered?
It would be good to get a better calculation of the square footage that you're removing. And you don't count steps that are 4 feet or under.
4 feet or narrower than.
Right.
Okay.
Just so we have a clear record. That in fact, the net result is not an expansion. Sure.
So from the public, are there any other comments you want to say? No.
I would just like us to be clear on exactly the questions that we want answered at the next planning board meeting, and that we don't expand it back to an entire conversation about the entire permit again.
I think they just covered that.
Okay, so it's the
Better
square.
calculation of square feet and the status of the septic.
And if those two conditions are met, then we can vote. Is
That's
that-
up to the board, but yes, should it?
Okay,
Okay. So, a motion to continue,
So moved.
second,
I'll second.
any discussion? All those in favor? Okay.
All right.
Give me a call.
Yeah,
At your meeting, we should know when the next meeting is, and we can decide if you want to be on that meeting.
okay, yeah, probably in September. First one.
End of September? Okay. Give me a call, let me know.
Every time I play one of these days, so.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
So all of you are here for a minute, moment. So. The purpose of tonight's meeting was to whether the application, the applicant is complete. And if it is complete, then the next step is to schedule a site visit, a public hearing, and notify others. So, we're not, somebody, one of you wrote in, like, the questions that you sent around. You sent around a letter that somebody.
Yes.
So that's sort of, I mean, those are all good issues, but they're not really relevant to whether the application is complete, but at the public hearing. Those are issues to be discussed, and the application probably look at those, if you haven't seen those.
I don't know that we've seen it, but we'll take a look at them, yeah.
In terms of the applicant. Oh, first of all, I should close the public hearing for the Colony Road.
Motion
I think
closed.
by vote,
What?
by vote, I think we did.
Yeah.
I believe that,
I guess by continuing.
right,
Okay, so we're actually continuing the public hearing too.
what's that?
I mean, the public hearings continue,
Continue, yes.
right? Okay. So as far as Camp Manitoba, there was a list of submittals that they were given.
You might want to ask Mr. Lawrence and his representative, come on.
We're not Cat Manitoba, we're Lovejoy Ventures. Yeah, so,
So you
I
submitted.
mean, Cat Manitoba, the events, Lovejoy Ventures is the company doing the subdivision. Yeah,
You have more submissions?
No, but I have the plans here
Okay.
and I was just gonna do at least some introductions,
Okay.
if that's all right, or,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I didn't wanna just assume I could come up and stand in front of everybody and,
Too kind, it's shine.
oh, my time to shine? It's-
There is a
Nice.
fan that has a clip on top if you'd like. Or on the bottom.
Am I doing all right?
Yeah, I'm just coming off, taking it in here.
I usually do, thank you. Folks, my name is Bob Berry. I am not Shane Howley. Shane is still an engineer at Mainland, but he took a break because he's also a captain in the Army National Guard and he got called up. So he is now serving full-time in the military, right here in Maine. He didn't have to leave the state fortunately. And he's available for questions if I have any questions for him. And we hope that he'll be back. It could be a year and change. So I am taking over the project, so you'll see me from now on. My name is Bob Berry. I'm Mainland Development Consultants. Here tonight with me is John Lawrence of Lovejoy Ventures. And also, an engineering intern at Mainland, Emily Lucas is with us. And she is a Readfield native. She's the second year now, engineering intern, and you'll soon return back to the University of Maine, College of Engineering. So we're proud to have Emily with us tonight. Yeah, thank you. So that's all we're looking for tonight is just completeness. There are 3 submittals in front of you, the original one from February, another one from April, a third one from last month. And we're hoping to get found complete. We'd love to have a sidewalk in the public hearing. That's all I have. I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
One of the. Tim had raised the total question about the total amount of wetland acreage.
Contiguous,
Biggest wetland acreage,
Okay,
that was a major
but I
question.
don't think we got that.
you did not get the contiguous.
Coverage by wetland.
Okay. We will make sure that you do get it.
Thank you.
I spoke to Paula and she said everything that was on her list has been now submitted.
Okay.
But I don't know if anyone has any other issues that they can. Anyone?
I think there were questions about the land lot that's already been sold and is being built on now. As to, for all the readings on the septic tanks and that were done. Are they included in one of the packages?
They are, yes,
Oh,
our own test pit is there and as well as. A finding from a Mr. Vaughn from 2015
Okay,
are in the application package. The second one,
did you decide on the fire pond issues?
we did, that's a great point in our point. Doesn't show on this plan, it shows on a different plan, I'll show you in just a second. There was a lot of discussion between the applicant and the fire department, trying to figure out what the right thing to do here was. And eventually came to a conclusion that we would be providing a brand new fire pond at that location.
That's lot 2.
Correct.
Yes, right on the corner of lot 2. And. Plan that shows some potential house locations, driveway locations, but also shows the fire pond. It'll have a dry hydrant that comes off of it, and will also collect and treat stormwater.
Are there any other things that people were looking for that we haven't received? Anyone? So if we have everything, then we need a motion to find the application complete. Notify butters, set up a public hearing, and set up a site visit. So such a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second? Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Thanks, folks.
Okay,
Much appreciated.
so I guess Chip will.
Do all the dirty work.
Jack, did we take comments from the public, or do we need to as part of that?
It's a public hearing.
Well, this is just a public meeting, right?
Right.
Yeah,
It's not, I mean, we're just, it's.
for completeness.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure that everything's submitted, meeting all of your ordinances for completeness.
Not sure.
I didn't read all the ordinances in depth, but from one of my reviews prior to it, there's still things that are missing in this packet that, aren't here now, like there's no dimensions of any of the lots. That was part of your requirement.
I thought there were dimensions on the map.
There was.
And no stormwater calculations were provided for your ordinances.
Stormwater management plan was.
Well, just the summary, the calculations weren't on how you arrived at the minus flows of the post-development, pre-development flows. You set a table summary of what they were. There was no layout of how you arrived at those and what the calculations were. I believe that was part of the ordinances.
I'll have to double check that, sir. We'll get back to you on that. I had understood that there was no requirement for the actual calculations. Calculations were run. But if it is a requirement, the ordinance, by all means, we will submit them.
There was the phosphorus calculation, so.
The phosphorus calculations were included.
I actually spoke to Shane about that. He said he wasn't required to submit his calculations. He has his own formula that he does, and he told me that it wasn't required.
I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but the town has its ordinance, okay? I run into this all the time. Developers, contractors, whatever, don't think it's right to run into a solar. You have to go by the Readfield ordinances. So a lot of this that you're mentioning right now will be added in as the completeness will be judged contingent on these. But you're invited to expound if you want.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, this is more technical than it is completeness. Permit by rule, getting awfully close by the time you figure in the buildings, the driveway and the road of hitting that 1 acre imperviousness. And 5 acres of disturbed based on what the definition of Maine DEP says disturbed is of 5 acres. You're pretty close and there's no calculations or anything showing that you're under it or you're above it or you're close, but just a rough thing by looking at your plans. You're pretty close to it. You make some assumptions. But,
I'm
I mean, that's
prepared to answer that tonight.
yeah.
If the board asks me to.
Yeah,
Do you want to reopen the public meeting?
well, we're still open, so.
No.
Well, no, actually, we had,
You did vote.
that was complete.
I think we already voted. I mean, I think that's a comment, it's perfectly appropriate, but I think it's a comment on the merits of the application. As opposed to whether it's sufficiently complete for us to
Right.
go forward with the merits, discuss it.
And you raised this issue in the way.
Correct.
So you'll.
And we will.
And that's fine, like I said, I wasn't saying that's,
No,
I don't know if that's a part of the completeness or merits, but that's just something,
no.
something that.
If they've checked the box, they've checked each piece that's required. It's not saying it's right, not saying it's wrong, not saying it's complete, so
Correct.
these kind of comments are very important to the public hearing.
But I do think there are a couple of things that don't check the complete box, but I'm not an expert on your ordinances or what other discussions or things you have, so.
I should have asked the people who are on Zoom, do you have any questions or comments you want to make? No? Pam, Jim, Danielle's? No. Okay. So we did vote, we did find it complete. So Chip will have to schedule a site visit and notify butters and all that.
And I'd ask that you, everything that you brought up, send me a copy of, okay?
Sure.
And we'll work on that public hearing. We're not quite sure when the next meeting's gonna be, but we'll try to schedule as soon as we can.
So the 27th is not a given, or,
Of August?
Yeah.
No. I think the thought process was one meeting in August, as I remember talking to Paul.
And has the letter that you wrote gone to you?
No, I did not, I just sent them.
We were not copied on that letter.
I think it was posted.
I didn't post
Oh,
it,
you didn't post it?
no.
You're fired.
Oh, we did today.
Yeah, I received it today.
Yes.
Typically, I do my postings by Friday before.
Yeah, gotcha.
It was a little late.
Stuff.
Part.
But I posted in the morning.
It would help to try to resolve them for the hearing. I'm just legal.
Yep. We're happy to resolve any information you need.
The continuous wetlands.
What's that?
What you're gonna do, the report on contiguous wetlands.
Oh, yes, we'll definitely.
Thank you very much.
Right off. Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's it. I think we're done.
All right. Thank you, folks.
We're not done, we're done with this.
Yeah, that would be.
Just, we
Make a
have one
motion to
more.
close the
It wasn't a public
Meeting.
hearing, it was
public meeting.
voted to.
Let's go to the minutes then.
We could just do the minutes.
Thank you, folks. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, thank you.
So Angela can do the minutes and either one. What comments?
That's right, I wrote the comments down so we wouldn't have to tell everybody. You can save some time.
And I did get your,
Though there is one other thing I missed. Yeah, what I do with my actual- Oh, yeah. Just technical, meeting minutes of July 9th under the July 23rd minutes, it said votes 4-1 favor with Jack abstaining. Some actually oppose the adoption of those minutes.
4-0.
Be 4-0 with one abstention,
oh, okay,
that's all.
perfect.
That's right, right now, that's and you know, I don't know. Motion to approve the minutes as amended, Peter.
Well, we should discuss whether people want to adopt what I suggested.
so in the minutes, it looks like it lists dates, it actually shows September 10th for the site visit for Minnetonka.
That was just, it found complete uncompleted stuff in the meeting. So I just put down basically the discussion we had about coming to the meeting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I did have a question, well, you can see in my email. The greatest practical extent standard. The minutes make it sound like that was just provided at the meeting, but I thought it was later, was I wrong? No, your narrative on greatest practical extent for 156 Torrey Shores Road.
I don't know when we got it.
That's just a very trivial comment, but I mean. I did.
Is everyone okay with the minutes as amended?
Yep.
Don,
I wasn't there, so I'm sorry.
Dana wasn't.
I wasn't there, I did read the notes, but I can't speak to the minutes.
So you want to make a motion? Did you make a motion? Okay. Find the applicant, approve the minutes as amended.
You want me to, oh, I'll make it.
Yeah.
I move to approve the minutes of the July of the. July 23rd meeting as amended.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? So it was three, you weren't there. Three, yes. Three abstentions.
Three abstentions?
Three abstentions. That's it.
So on the protocol for that right there, I didn't mean to correct you in front of the crowd.
No, I forgot about that.
Should, I thought it was appropriate for them to comment, that's why they would
I
be.
mean, it's not a public hearing.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's, our practice has been to, as long as people keep it brief and on the subject. To allow them to ask questions or ask questions.
Yeah. I thought they came for a reason. So,
One option, you know, and things like this, Minnesota, where there's a lot of conflicting technical information, and if we don't feel confident, we can hire our own outside consultant. At their expense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One comment. For all. They definitely don't like being called the Manitoba project, because this is probably gonna be, in the next stage, Lovejoy Ventures v. Manitoba. So it may be future times we mention it, it's Lovejoy Ventures. He was a little torn. Manitoba.
Well, but Chip, they called it the Manitoba Woodlands subdivision. So, you know,
Yeah,
that's how they're gonna market it. They go if they can.
It's not camp.
actually.
No camp.
Yes, so we're done.
Jeez.
That was amazing.
Good.
I wasn't ready.
Do you need a motion to adjourn? Or can we do that?
Probably should,
Yeah.
we should.
Jim Schmidt, who used to be on this committee, would say, "Looking to adjourn is always in order."
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Great discussion. All in favor?
Excellent.
Opposed? You're opposed?
Don doesn't want to go home.
You can stay here.